Hello, friends. It's Carla, your online doctor, with today's Live in 5. Today is Tuesday, August 11th at 5:05 p.m. Sorry about that. Dealing with some college stuff for my daughter. Anyway, as vaccine companies rush to bring COVID-19 vaccine to the market, Bill Gates warns you will probably need multiple doses for it to be effective. He said in an interview recently, none of the vaccines at this point seem to work with a single dose. And he believes to wipe out the virus, about 80% of the world population will need these multiple injections. I don't want to make this a vaccine debate, but how convenient for those who are going to profit financially from this vaccine, okay? But one area where Gates was visibly uncomfortable in his interview was when he was asked about side effects from the vaccine. Moderna's vaccine at the lower dose, which is 100 milligrams, has been found to produce systemic side effects in 80% of its phase 1 participants, including fatigue, chills, headache, and muscle pain. All of these between 50% and 80% of the recipients experienced. Not just one person. That's more than half and closer to the majority. When they used the higher dose, which was 250, micrograms, 100% of the participants suffered side effects after both the first and the second dose. Now, 3 of the 14 participants in this higher dose group also suffered what they called a severe event requiring medical treatment. Okay, not just take a Tylenol and I'll feel better. Despite this, the trial is being heralded as a huge success, with one of the vaccine experts saying, "We now know, quote, that it is safe in 45 people and it doesn't have very common side effect problems." Clearly, we have a different perception on what very common means if 80 to 100% is considered uncommon. Then just what level of harm must be inflicted in order for a vaccine to be viewed as having a questionable safety profile? Keep in mind the 45 participants in the phase 1 trial were healthy individuals between the ages of 18 and 55. Meanwhile, over 90% of Americans are metabolically unhealthy and struggle with chronic health conditions, making them more prone to complications from vaccines. Interesting things are done during trials, too, to hide side effects. The trial at Oxford has one study arm receiving Tylenol every 6 hours for the first day after injection. Now, is that to mask all the side effects? Clearly, pain, fever, headaches, and muscle pain can be minimized, and maybe most people didn't think of those symptoms as an issue. I'm not saying Tylenol, giving somebody 4 doses of Tylenol is necessarily a bad thing, but if you're doing a trial and you're doing a study, you don't mask it with other medications so that people don't experience symptoms. You want to see what people are experiencing in order to know its true effect. So maybe to them, the benefit of a vaccine outweighs the risks of the side effects. But 1/3 of people not given Tylenol had reactions severe enough to interfere with their daily life or require medical care. Just over 25% developed severe muscle aches too. Now remember, these are young, healthy volunteers. Now translate that to the vulnerable population that would ideally benefit the most from a vaccine, the over 80 population in nursing homes. Do you think that they are going to have the same minimal, uncommon side effects and get away with it? Now, again, I am not saying that this vaccine won't work. I'm not saying these vaccines that they're working on may not need to come. I'm not giving you a medical opinion about that because that's not what the discussion is. What I am mostly concerned about is the rush, the race to get this vaccine onto the market, bypassing step by step all along the way, fast tracking it, warp speed, whatever you want to call it. We are rushing to get a vaccine that is not going to necessarily be safe for the masses. Okay, if you're between the ages of 18 and 55 and you don't mind having just those side effects, regardless if you require medical attention or not, more power to you. But when you're dealing with under 18, maybe even young children, infants, newborns, 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds, and then into the elderly with multiple medical problems, and then the chronically ill people of our country, we have a little bit of a problem, in my opinion. So if the people who are making the vaccine feel that that's a safety profile that they're willing to accept, I personally will not be sticking my arm out to be one of the first to get the injection. Again, this is not a debate of whether or not you think we need a vaccine. They really need to just go through the standard steps and the standard protocols to get the true safety of a vaccine done in the proper manner. Fast tracking it is not going to do anybody any good. So on that note, I know there's going to be a lot of conversation. Try not to make it political, please. I don't want to see Trump or anybody else's name in the comments. This is about our health, people, and sticking your arm out to say inject me cannot be reversed. So, beware. That's all I can say. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I will see you again tomorrow for another Live in 5.